Hello everyone, welcome to today's video, which is a massive meal prep. I spent the whole day prepping freezer meals. I am currently 22 weeks pregnant and my goal is to have at least 3 months worth of freezer meals stocked by the month of January when our baby is due. So this is really a testing phase I'm in this month, just seeing what things that my family and I love that freeze well. So I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so the first thing I am doing is flash freezing a bunch of hamburger and hot dog buns that I've had lying around for a bit too long. I will stick these in the freezer for at least an hour and then transfer them into bags for longer term freezer storage. And next, I am going to start cooking some bacon. Like I said, I'm experimenting a bit today, and one of those experiments is freezing cooked bacon. I know people do it. I've never done it. I just wanted to try it myself to see if it's even worth it. Now I'm going to make some homemade chicken tenders. I'll share the link to the recipe below. It's a copycat Chick-fil-A recipe, but honestly, I never follow recipes exactly. I always put my own twist on them. I just kind of use recipes for inspiration. I like to base my recipes off of what I have on hand. For this marinade, I am using whole milk, some vinegar, an egg, and pickle juice from my home canned pickles. I have to say, I thought I was such a genius for using a pizza cutter to cut these into nugget pieces, but as you can see, it didn't really work. I don't think the pizza cutter was sharp enough, and being pregnant, raw meat is just not fun for me. So I gave up on that idea, and instead of nuggets, I let them stay as chicken tenders, and it was way easier too. After I poured the marinade over the chicken, I stuck the whole thing in the fridge for the rest of the day just to let it soak up, let the marinade soak in, and at the end of this video you will see me cooking them. Alright, the bacon is kind of an ongoing process. When one batch was done cooking, I took it out, let it sit and cool off while I threw in another batch. And now I am going to make a few grill packs with marinated meat that will be perfect to pull out on the weekend for my husband to grill. These don't have to be just for the grill either. I could easily throw these packs in the slow cooker if my husband doesn't feel like grilling. I don't really use the grill, but these are pretty versatile. So the first thing I wanted to put in this marinade was this Italian salad dressing that has been hanging out in my fridge for a while. I don't really like it as salad dressing, but I didn't want to waste it, and marinades are the perfect opportunity to use up any dressings or juices or sauces that have been hanging out in your fridge for a little too long. Also in this marinade, I am adding balsamic vinegar, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, olive oil, lemon juice, Dijon mustard, garlic powder, rosemary, and pink Himalayan salt. The Dijon mustard is another thing that was hanging out in our fridge for a long time. I pretty much only use it in like very specific recipes, so I was very happy to get this used up. Again, I will link the recipe that I used for inspiration for this marinade in the description box, along with any other recipes that I used for inspiration. Now I'm just pouring the marinade directly on the raw meat, and even though I'm freezing it right away, I figured it will get a chance to marinate when I take it out of the freezer. If I take it out like the night before I want to cook it, that'll give it time to thaw and marinate kind of at the same time. I'm just doing another round of chicken legs here, so I'll end up with 4 bags of about 5 or 6 legs each, depending on how many we want to cook or what else we're having that night. I'll pull them out as we need them. The next grill pack I'm making are some pork chops, and the recipe for this marinade was a little bit different. I find a little bit different spices work well on pork. For this marinade, I am using soy sauce, olive oil, Dijon mustard, and since my mustard bottle, you can see here, is running a little bit low, I poured some vinegar in the bottle to shake the bottle up and help like get out the last of it, since I was adding vinegar anyways. Little trick for ya. It pretty much worked. I think I probably didn't get all of it, but I got more of it out. I'm also adding some ketchup, more vinegar, brown sugar, oregano, and garlic powder. And I'm just switching the bacon over again, keeping that going. For those of you who don't know, I do currently have two daughters, a 9-year-old and a 3-year-old, and baby number 3 on the way. Like I said, I'm home full-time with the kids. I am homeschooling this year. And my plan for this channel going forward is to do a lot of homemaking and lifestyle content with my own twist. I really love gardening. I love cooking from scratch as much as possible. And I've been getting into canning a lot this year. So stuff like that. If you have any requests or suggestions for videos, please let me know, because I just love trying new things and sharing with you guys what I'm trying. Okay, now let's take a quick trip out to the garden to gather some fresh tarragon for our next recipe. This recipe is our family's favorite chicken soup. It's a chicken tarragon leek soup. I do have this recipe posted on my blog. I will link that in the description box. So for the fresh veggies in this soup, I'm starting with some celery and leek, of course. I wanted to show you guys here how dirty leeks are. I did buy these from the grocery store, but because of the way that they grow and the fact that you have to pack dirt around them to get that white part, they can be really dirty. So just always remember to peel your leeks back and wash them really, really well. Now, if I was making this soup fresh to eat right away, I would actually saute the garlic, onion, and celery first in some olive oil just to kind of get the aromatics going. You could totally do that and then put it in the freezer bag if you wanted to, but I just wanted to minimize the amount of pans I'm getting dirty, so I'm skipping that step today. For the rest of the soup, I'm adding some cream as well as some olive oil, white wine vinegar, salt, and pepper. For the chicken, I am using chicken thighs, and I've done this with bone-in, skin-on chicken as well as boneless, skinless. It really doesn't matter, it's just whatever you have on hand. If you do bone-in chicken, just about an hour before it's done cooking, I take the bones out and kind of break the chicken up. But other than that, it works fine either way. Today I thought I had boneless, but it looks like it has skin on it. So I don't honestly know what I have, but it's gonna be delicious. Now I am moving over to the table so I can sit down while I make some lunches to freeze for the next few weeks. I got the griddle out on the table here, and I am starting with some simple grilled cheese. Usually I use the George Foreman to make grilled cheese, and I have to say the grilled cheese in the griddle though is way better. They don't get as squished and they look prettier, therefore they taste better. After I let them cool a bit, I did wrap these in wax paper for the freezer. I wanted to avoid that flash freeze step because I have my freezer full of other things that are flash freezing. So I figured I'd use wax paper for this to keep them from sticking together. Just checking my list real quick of things I wanted to make. We're doing good, right on schedule. Let's keep it moving. Now I am done cooking all the bacon. It has cooled enough for me to put it away. I'm wrapping a few pieces in wax paper and freezing them in individual bags. Always label your bags before you fill them. It's way easier. I've learned that the hard way. Actually, every time I do freezer meals, I forget to do that at least once, but I'm remembering now. So yeah, so I'm wrapping them in wax paper, freezing them individually, and we'll see how that turns out. I haven't actually tried it yet. Moving on, next I'm going to make some lunch salads for myself. I'm going to make a tuna salad and a chicken salad. So I'm starting with some celery and red onion. I'm just chopping it up thickly and then putting it in my chopper here that you saw me using earlier. I love this thing. It is so easy. And this is another thing that's a total experiment for me. I did not know how these were going to turn out after being frozen, and I am happy to report I tried the tuna salad this week and it was really good. It didn't really taste that weird. Just let it thaw out like overnight so that it's still nice and cold when you have it from the fridge, and it was really good. I am definitely going to be doing this again. I haven't tried the chicken salad yet. I will let you guys know, but so far, so good. I like to keep it pretty simple in these salads. So you saw the celery, the red onion, just a little bit of mayo and a little bit of yellow mustard. And I'm gonna add some pickles in a minute, and really that's about it. I don't even add salt. Oh, I did add some pepper, but the pickles that I'm using are my home canned pickles, like I mentioned, and they actually are too salty. The recipe that I used, they're from last year, and the recipe I used had way too much salt in it, so I don't even need to add salt to this salad. I figured putting them in a salad like this is the perfect way to use them up, and it adds the salt, so I don't even have to add any extra salt. Then I just rinsed the bowl out and I'm moving right on to the tuna salad. So I'm adding the same exact ingredients and it's as simple as that. Now it's time to bag up the buns that I froze earlier, and after that I'm going to use this same pan to prepare some bagel pizzas to flash freeze. These are so easy, and we did try these this week. They were delicious and they were so easy for lunch because you just pull them out of the freezer and pop them right in the oven for about 20 minutes and lunch is ready. And they're a little bit closer to homemade than an actual frozen pizza. And my kids are huge fans of pizza. So they're super easy. Just put some pepperoni over the holes like you saw if you want. And I'm using marinara sauce, but you could use pizza sauce if you have that. Then just some mozzarella cheese on top. It's as simple as that, and you can put whatever toppings you guys like. My kids are pretty simple creatures, especially my oldest, and so I just kept these pretty simple, but they were really good. Then I just flash froze these for a couple hours. Now I am making some quesadillas and tacos. This is another great way to use up ingredients like cheese or tortillas, and also quesadillas are a staple food in our family, especially around for lunch. Grilled cheese, quesadillas, pizzas, lots of cheese, lots of carbs. That's my kids for you. But I wanted to try frying these up ahead of time and freezing them and seeing if they heated up pretty well. We haven't tried the quesadillas yet. Oh no, we have. We actually have, and I think they were good. I didn't eat one, but my daughter did, and she said they were good. So that's awesome. But yeah, like I said, I also have some taco meat, so I just rolled up a few little tacos, and I'm gonna try them in the freezer, heat them up in the oven, and see how that works. I will keep you guys posted. Now I just showed you a quick clip of some smoothie bags that I put together. I guess I didn't film the actual putting them together, but I have those prepped for breakfast. And now it's time to finish up the chicken tenders. They have been marinating all day, and it's time to make the coating and fry them up. So this coating is pretty simple. It's just salt and pepper, flour, and cornstarch. And it's actually dinner time at our house, so we were pretty excited to try these out for dinner, and the plan was to freeze the rest. But guys, I gotta tell you, this was so good. We almost didn't have any leftovers for the freezer. They were so good. So I definitely will be repeating this recipe. I haven't heated them up from the freezer yet, but just cooking them fresh, amazing. And I do think the recipe says to cook these in a deep fryer, but I don't have a deep fryer, so I just fried them in some oil, and like I said, they were delicious. It worked very well. Okay, wrapping up the day, I pulled the pizzas out of the freezer and bagged them up. And I used this pan to flash freeze the chicken tenders. The last thing I wanted to make is some zucchini banana muffins. I have some shredded zucchini there. I didn't have quite enough, so I also shredded up some apple. As you can see, I have my helper with me, and as I'm recording this, I also have my helper next to me, so if you can hear her, she is blowing stickers across the floor. But Rosie is my buddy. She loves baking with me. She just loves being by my side. So there she is, and she's quite the good helper. Okay, so it's actually the next day as I'm wrapping up this video, but I'm taking the chicken out of the freezer and putting it in bags, and then I am just going to flash freeze most of the muffins. I did save a few to eat, you know, over the next few days, and my husband take to work and stuff, but I did flash freeze most of them. And these are great because, again, you just pop them in the oven for, I don't know, 5 minutes, not even, just long enough to get them warm, really, and then they're ready to go and they're delicious, and it just lasts a lot longer than if you were to keep them on your counter. So huge hit. Definitely recommend flash freezing muffins. And you guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would love it if you'd give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment letting me know what is your favorite thing to freezer meal prep, if that makes sense, because I would love to know. My next video is going to be a get it all done with me. Very productive day coming up, and that'll be coming next week. So until then, I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.